Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You know, Hayden, you had mentioned that you had mentioned, hey, can we do some type of physical therapy, something like that? Can we help with that?
Yes.
I bet you Bayada could help get you there.
Well, my mother's in a nursing home.
Okay.
And she had surgery on her hip. Said she's there to do physical therapy. But she wants to come home. And she's developed some short-term memory problems that are unusual for her. It's because she's displaced and in a strange place. And I would like to see her get home, and she would like to get home. So how could you do that so she could still get the therapy and all the things that she needs? She obviously will need a little help with housework or cleaning or cooking. Is that something that you can do?
Oh, yes, we definitely do that. It would actually be with two of Bayada offices that would help provide the services. Our Bayada Home Health Visit office is located in Gastonia, but they service our area. They can come in and provide the physical therapy and the services for that. And then in our office here in Shelby, there's a DNA out and provide services for cremating and also personal care as well.
Are these services paid for by Medicare and the Medicare supplement?
Medicare will pay for the physical therapy, the home health visits. These are usually, depending on, usually a few times a week for about an hour or so a day that Medicare will pay for. Medicare will not pay for custodial care, which is where DNA will go in.
Okay.
So,
Let's do that.
so it looks like that would be certainly an option for someone in a situation like your mother who would like to get home. Alternative. And Amber, that brings up another point. You don't have to just come in home to provide care. In fact, I think I've heard you talk about before that you go into assisted living, independent living, and nursing homes as well and help with care, don't you? Am I right there?
We have several families that we help with this situation where their loved one is in a facility and they're maybe one CNA per hall and they want that person to have that extra 24/7 one-on-one care or maybe 2 or 3 hours of extra care to provide the services. We can go into a facility, we can provide CNA services to them as far as sit with them 24 hours a day and provide the hands-on care with them versus them being in a facility where they may see someone every hour.
Amber, my family, we try to stay with my mother as close to 24 hours a day, except for sleeping hours as we can. For maybe 3 hours, what would something like that cost?
Talk about Okay. So there are multiple ways to pay for care. Hey, we're going to pause 1 second, Amber, and we're going to give the number out. If anybody has any questions on in-home care or any other questions to ask me, Greg McIntyre, the elder law guy, give us a call. Milt, could you give our call numbers?
Be glad to. The phone numbers are 704-482-1390, 735-8071, or 435-2844. Those are on 704 numbers again. 482-1390, 735-8071, or 435-2844.
Thank you very much, Milton. Thank you very much. And if anybody has any questions for Amber about in-home care and the services that Bayada provides, please give us a call. And you can ask Amber yourself. So, Amber, you brought up a lot of good points and talked about paying for care. I mean, this is why And it also is something that I just wanted to have a conversation about this morning. Who wants to go? I'd ask the listeners also to raise their hands. If you want to go and be institutionalized or go to a home, a nursing home, raise your hand. Anybody want to do that? Is that a fair question?
Well,
Why is that not a fair question?
No, it is a fair question. In fact, you asked it yesterday. We did a seminar at a senior center,
Right.
and asked the question. It was quite a show of hands of people who would rather stay home.
And that's not a knock on the really good nursing homes and
Oh,
assisted
no.
living facilities we have in the area. Just really on human nature. I think we'd rather stay in our own caves, don't you? Stay in our own homes.
We've been
Even, you have those the size of laptops you bring in and care for people. So you can care for people in a wide gamut, I guess, that have very little needs to people who have, full-on paralysis and need respirators or ventilators to breathe. You can bring that care, that almost, just that really high level of almost hospital care to someone in their house, can't you?
Oh, yes. Just looking at someone that is unfortunate to have those services, a facility that would accept someone that is on a ventilator is very rare to find. There are, I believe, 3 in North Carolina, and the closest 4 hours away.
Mom.
So if you have a family or a loved one that is needing to live with a ventilator, you're going to have to send them 2 hours away from home in order for them to even be able to have that. And so what we can provide, we can go into the home, we train our nurses to go into the home and take care of someone that has a tracheostomy and a ventilator that keeps them breathing. It's kind of similar to like someone at home. We take care of them, we work on ways to maybe wean them from the vent, therapy for that. We provide up to 24 hours a day, skilled nursing with a nurse, hands-on, one-on-one with that client to provide the services.
I just think that's fascinating. I mean, I know there's a lot of technology that you can bring in a home, and I have to believe, through the 2050s, mid-2050s, people over 65 is just going to keep increasing the amount of people over 65, the population, and that this technology and this need is just going to be, increasing as well, more and more, to be able to care for someone and get most, advanced, hospital-like quality care right in their own home, which is really amazing and really cool. And now to get somebody, if somebody has questions for you, somebody has questions and wants to say, well, let's see how we can pay for this. Do you have a way that they can sit down with you or somebody who's trained to do this and look at, hey, here are my options for payment, for benefits, for, let's explore all options. Do you have somebody that's trained to do that in your office?
Yes, we do. We have several people that are available to do this at all times. Anybody can always call our office at 704-669-4000. Or you can always visit our office if you'd like to sit down in person at 1105-3 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. And then also, we can always send our clinical manager out to the home and to sit down and talk with the family or the person that's needing services one-on-one as well. If they're not able to get out, we can provide the services in the home as well.
Right. Well, tell me, what's the most satisfying thing for you about being able to provide in-home care for clients? And what kind of responses do you get from your clients?
I know one of the biggest responses that I had that affected me the most was probably a year and a half ago. We brought home one that had a tracheostomy and a ventilator. And the mom was the caregiver of this client for 21 years. He had cerebral palsy and took a lot of hands-on work. And the first night that we were in the home with our nurse, she called me that next day and she said, in 22 years, this is the first night that I've actually been able to sleep.
Hey, Amber, would your your number to the listeners so that people will have that information, maybe all your contact info, so that if they want to grab a pen and paper right now and take down Amber and Bayada Home Healthcare's number in this region. Amber's going to give that to you. She's going to give you the web address and the address so that you'll have that information. You can take down that information and you can call her directly to ask any of your questions. Amber, could you give that out to our listeners right now?
Yes, our telephone number is 704-669-4000. Again, that's 704-669-4000. Our web address is www.bayada.com. And then our physical address is 1105-3 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby, North Carolina, 28152. We're located right off the Service Road on 74 next to the Fast Cafe and Emo in that area there.
Amber, we're in the Shelby area. That's where our office is located. We service from Asheville to Charlotte. But this radio station broadcasts Rutherford County, Lincoln County, Gaston County. What am I missing, Milton?
We have Polk County.
We reach out 16 counties.
16
in all.
counties,
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
So where do you have other locations that people could call you and ask about?
Yes, Bayada actually has over 300 locations across the country. And pretty much where one will stop, another one will pick up. Here in Shelby, we cover Cleveland and Rutherford County. And then also, once you go to Gaston, Lincoln, and that would go to our other offices in Gastonia, that we can direct them to the right place if they're in another area.
Thank you.
Amber, thank you for being with us this morning. I really appreciate that. I'm putting this down as a one-to-one between you and me for B&I. Okay, I'll put that in our system. And I just appreciate you for coming on our show. We try to offer quality information to seniors over the 16-county area that we broadcast to. And again, this was part 2 in our alternatives to nursing home care. Thank you so much for coming home and talking about in-home care, Amber.
Thanks for having me.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so Milton, thanks for calling Amber for us and getting her involved and on the line. Just really I can't say enough about the quality of people over there at Bayada, and they just do a great job. Just think about bringing the technology. I just think of the ICU home, in your home. That's the level of care they can bring, or they can just do your work for you, help get you going in the morning. And sometimes that's all any of us need is that, my wife nudged me this morning to help get me out of bed. I had my alarm clock set for 4:30 this morning.
That's why I was laughing. I was surprised.
She said, you getting up? You going? I slept in a little bit later this morning. I did. But sometimes you just need somebody to nudge you in the mornings and to, help get you going and make sure you're taking your medications if you have those and you're off on the right foot.
People are younger at ages 65 and 70 and 75 than they were 20 years ago. And they want to continue doing the things that they can do. And they want to stay home and do them and receive their friends. And
Stay as young as possible, as active as possible, as long as possible. I agree. And stay home as long as possible. So I'm giving a shout out this morning to Terry Putnam in Lincolnton. Terry helps organize things at the senior center there in Lincolnton.
no, he is married to.
He's married.
Yeah.
He's married to the organizer of the senior center there in Lincoln. Sorry about that. And Terry's an avid listener. Thanks, Terry. I know we were going to do an event up there, and I hear that Terry maybe told his wife, "Hey, you ought to listen to this funny attorney on WOHS Big Old Country." Said he's over there every once in a while. He's got a pretty decent sense of humor. Thank you for that, by the way. Okay, my wife might disagree with you, Terry, but I appreciate you saying that and telling your wife that. I think we were calling her at the same time, talking about maybe doing an event. At the same time, you were saying, "Hey, y'all, listen to this guy." I really appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody who's drinking coffee this morning, hanging out, listening to us after Swap and Shop on Fridays. Every Friday at 10. That reminds me, we give this show every Friday at 10. We try to bring quality content to our listening audience on how you, on just the icebergs that are out there that feed seniors face. We talked a lot about legal protection in the past, and I've had a little bit of a shift. I just really want to give. We have a lineup of shows coming up that really have nothing to do with the law. We can talk about that if listeners want to call in and talk about that, but it's more about providing quality information to seniors.
Well, your concern about seniors is what was one of the motivating factors that made you choose elder law.
That's correct.
And if you can give them information that can help them, otherwise it's just a value-added service of anyone in that profession.
Well, thank you. I agree. That's what's brought you out of retirement.
That's right.
All right. And
this morning I was reconsidering.
You were reconsidering this morning?
I was like, no, I'm not sleep late.
No. Oh, you get up. You know you're ready to do the radio
I'll
show.
do it for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do it. I do it for my family. I do it for all the seniors out there. I do it for my grandfather and my grandmother. That's the reason I do it. And coming up on next week, on Friday, September 18th, we're going to talk about connecting seniors with the right professionals. We want to have Access on. We'd love for the lovely Miss Jane Wright to come on and be our guest next week.
And
Access is a group of healthcare professionals and other professionals devoted to helping seniors and helping give care to seniors. Anywhere from helping them build, we have someone that helps build access ramps into homes, okay, for wheelchairs.
They were discussing at one of the meetings
giving-
that I attended,
Yeah.
trying to figure out a way to get dental care to adults, because the health department only covers dental care up to age 21.
Yeah, we talked about that
like
at
that.
Access.
So
We talked about that in the journey. I'm on the Access board. I'm going to be president this upcoming year. So I need to make sure I make the meetings for the rest of the year because I couldn't do it this week. I was a little under the weather. But and another board that I'm on is Journey, which is a board that we're going to have Journey on September 25th, Friday, September 25th, 2 weeks from now. Pastor Lynn Byers, and chaplain at Cleveland Regional Medical Center here in Cleveland County, is going to be on, along with Angie Horn, who's also with Care Solutions, but very knowledgeable about the Journey program. And that's about making tough decisions. They really deal with a lot of tough decisions over there at the hospital.
Do they focus on end of life? Is that maybe their main focus?
Journey is focused on the journey from this life to the next. That's correct. And healthcare, how healthcare fits into that puzzle. So we'll have breakfast served at the hospital regularly and meet and talk about those issues. Journey has a great book that they put together.
We'll bring that.
We will.
And we can kind of maybe bring out
Oh
some
gosh, it's
chapters in
it's
it.
wonderful. That allows you to gather all your information in the right place. Go ahead and get your healthcare directives in place.
Is it Angie that suggested, what's her name? From Journey?
We'll have Angie on next week, okay? From Journey, along with Lynn Byers. And
But
we'll
didn't
talk
she
about
say
all that.
she had even a picture that she wanted to put for her obituary in that book, and you do the videos?
I know somebody who keeps their divorce paperwork in that book.
Yeah,
Just because they want everything in the right place.
And that's true,
In the
and it's
same
always
place.
promising, even the repairmen who work on your home and things like that, in case they're incapacitated.
That's right.
So, I mean, it's really interesting. We'll try to give you as much as we can without.
Yeah, and
being able
we'll
to
tell
say
you
it.
where you can get one of those books, and you can call in and we can talk about that and go ahead and we might give some of those away for free because I think it's a minimal cost, maybe $10, $15. They're $20 to get one of those books. Let's give a few of those away for free on that Friday, okay?
We'll do that.
To
We'll
callers.
listen in and we'll
That's on September
figure out a way
25th.
to give them away.
So put those on your calendar. Tune in with us on the upcoming Fridays. Got a lot of good content going out. And thank you very much. I'm Greg McIntyre, the older law guy here with Hayden Soloway and Milton here at WOHS Big O Country. You can reach my office by calling 704-259-7040. Anybody who calls in, who's listening to the show, gives the code word radio, we'll give you a free consultation. We'll sit down and talk about how to address your situation, look it over, protect your hard-earned money and property, or just give you some advice on where you need to go and what you need to do. 704-259-7040 is our number at McIntyre Elder Law. And thanks for listening. Have a great weekend.
All right, folks, we appreciate you tuning in today, and join us again next week, as Megan Hayden said. And we'll be back next week with community profile programs on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Hope you'll join us then. And we'll hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy it, and we'll see you later on.
Would you want to talk to about people that might be interested in attending that? Don't say the food, they'll come to the food. But they can call our office and tell them we're going to take a certain number of people and if they are interested in attending, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great. We should definitely start talking about this.
All season long, 14th is here.
Hey, guys.
Thank you, Noah.
Yeah, you're quite
I appreciate
Would
it.
you like a copy?
I would love one.
$100.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, man.
Hey,
Yep, and you can bounce it all the way to the bank. No, it won't bounce. I have a lot of money now.
Thanks for tuning in.
My grandchildren.
See you next week.
Oh, I forgot.